water bottle. Hola! How is everybody? I'm here at day 2 of the Dreaming Morocco retreat, live broadcast from Marrakech. I'm caftan down for y'all because I'm going shopping as soon as we hang up for more caftans. Because when you come to Morocco, it makes no sense to buy a bunch of clothes because they have caftans. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? They got caftans everywhere. You know, like you go for sunglasses and there's sunglasses everywhere on 125th Street. There's caftans everywhere. You go to the gas station, there's somebody selling caftans from the gas station. I was like, oh, this is my kind of country. I could walk around in pajamas. Thank you. So caftans. I'm getting some more caftans and some light bulbs for my apartment. You can see my beautiful Moroccan apartment with the woodwork on the top. Hi, Donna. Who else is there? Hi, Roz. Who's coming? Roz is coming with me to Morocco on the retreat. Hiya. Who else is there? Are there more people? Hey, thanks for joining, guys. Has everybody gotten a chance to look at the itinerary? It's up there. I posted it all over this page, and there's a copy in the page, but it's also on the website, thedreamunlock.com. If you go there and you click in the upper right-hand corner, Morocco retreat, it takes you right to the page. So, do I have any questions about the retreat? Because I'm gonna talk a while, give people a chance to join. And make sure that people who are on my mailing list have asked to join today so they can actually see this. If you're not on my mailing list, you should sign up because you can get the replays of these live retreats, these live broadcasts at thedreamunlock.com. Just sign up. It's all good. So let me make sure nobody's trying to get on. Nobody has questions for me. So let's do a little review of yesterday. So yesterday I talked about why. Hello, Roz is excited. I'm excited too. Roz, we're gonna have fun, girl. We're gonna have caftans. Okay. Ooh. And I got a video because I had my first Berber tagine last night. Hello. Okay. Berber tagine. It is not too late. If you go to thedreamunlocked.com, you go to the website, you go to the top of the picture, you can just click the link that's in the comments of this video. I put the link there. You can click right on that link and it will take you to the sales page and the video from yesterday. And it gives you the full itinerary and it tells you from the navigation up at the top how to pay. There's 2 different versions of the retreat, the 9-day or the 17-day. If you just go to the sales page and you can see it. If you want to do that while I'm here, Donna, and see if you have questions, totally. Just click on thedreamunlock.com. You can do it on your phone, unless you're on your phone, put it on your laptop, and you can pull up the screen. As soon as I figure out how to use Zoom on Facebook, I'm going to figure out how to show screens at the same time. Great question. What about currency exchange? Okay, so don't do what I did, which is get to the airport, arrive, and go to the exchange booth. Because everybody knows about the exchange booth in your country, right? The exchange booth in the airport is always more expensive. Always. They take your money, they take your money, they take your money, they take your money, they take your money. Don't change your cash. Just don't do it. The first thing you should do is go to an ATM in the airport and take out $400 American. That would be $4,000 in dirham. Dirham is the currency, okay? And if you see it written, it'll say MAD. Now, the quickest trick to figure out how much everything costs is just to add a 0, right? So here, if something costs $10, it's 100 dirham. Okay, if something costs $400 US, it's 4,000 dirham or 4,000 MAD. The trips, the dates for the 9-day retreat. Well, let's go to the page and I'm gonna tell you. It starts in Marrakech, and I'm on the page so I don't give you any incorrect information. So we go to, I want to say the 10th, but I want to be sure. And I want to give you guys the link again. So the 17 days starts November 1st and it ends November 17th. It's $19.99. That includes mini dinners, all breakfast, and some excursions. So you look at the retreat and you can see the excursions. And I'm going to go through days 3, 4, 5, and 6 today. And there's tons of optional things, cooking classes, and nothing costs a lot of money. Like things are like $10. Like honestly, like we're going to a spa for hammam, which is their ritual bath with mud and argan oil and massage. And it was like, I was there for like 3 hours. It was like $80 for a 90-minute massage and full spa treatment. Like it's really cheap. Like if you just wanted spa, you could do it for $40 at some of the hammams in Marrakech. So it's a lot less expensive. So our first days, and this might be a question for Rashid. Okay, so the 9-day starts on day 12, which would be the 12th. We meet at Essaouira. So you'll probably want to get to Marrakech the day before, and we will work out lodging. Once you've made your purchase, then I hand you over to Rashid, who does logistics, because I do not mess with logistics. You do not want me organizing buses and hotels and planes, trains, and automobiles. We also have a travel agent that we work with who has the dates, who you can book, and we send you all that information. Or again, you can go to this page. Can everybody see me? Up at the top, thedreamunlock.com. Click on that. And in the upper right-hand corner, you see Morocco Retreat. Click on that. And then you can just scroll down the page, use the navigation at the top, and it says 17-day retreat, 9-day retreat. Take your pick, right? So Mercedes, what are the dates for the 9-day retreat? No, the 9-day retreat, again, starts on the 12th in Essaouira. And Essaouira is a beach town right outside of Marrakech, okay? So our major cities are Casablanca, Rabat, Tangier, I guess we're not visiting there, Marrakech. These are the big cities that we'll be traveling to during this 17-day retreat. The 9-day retreat will do Marrakech, which is sort of like the artsy New York of Morocco. And then the beach town outside of it is Essaouira, where our actual 2-day retreat will be. We'll run through exercises and talk about personal development and manifesting and getting unstuck. So you will come in to Marrakech. I would come in a couple of days early, acclimatize to the city, see the famous gardens, eat like a crazy person. Then you'll get on a bus. It's about 2 hours. It's really easy. It's a luxury bus. It ain't like Peter Pan or the Chinatown bus. It's a luxury bus, like it's European travel. And you take the bus for 2 hours to Essaouira, and there's a break there in between the 2 hours because people here break and eat and drink tea all the time. So you can't be on a bus for like 2 hours. You're gonna stop. If you're on a tour with us, you're gonna stop every hour and 10 minutes because we gotta have tea, we gotta have coffee, we gotta have bathroom, we gotta have, you know, couscous, we gotta have like, people do tea here and people do breaks here. So you take the 2-hour bus ride from Marrakech and then to Essaouira, and Essaouira is very tiny. It's a beach town, right? You can walk it. And someone will be there to help you with your luggage. And then we'll bring you to the beautiful Riyadh, where we'll be staying in, which is Riyadh Benatar. And I'll post the link here too. But again, all of that stuff is in the itinerary. You can just go through there and click on the links. So November 12th through the 17th. Now you can come early, you can come later, but it's November 12th through the 17th. It is, and in that 9-day trip, you start at Marrakech, you have the 2-day retreat in the beach town in Essaouira. Then we go to the surf town of Agadir, where you can ride a camel or a horse, and there's all kinds of services you can do on the beach. And it's a beautiful beach that's known for surfing. So tons and tons of surfers, tons and tons of good fish. It's a great, fun, mellow town with great waves. And you can ride a horse on the beach. That's not included in the tour, but you could just lay out your little $50 and get your horse for the day. So I'm riding a horse on the beach. That's what I know. So, and Agadir. And then we come back to Marrakech, and you can stay in Marrakech and shop, because Marrakech is its own magical wonderland. You know, you have the souk, which is the major market here. And souks have been around since the 12th century. So this marketplace has been here in Marrakech, in the same place, operating continuously since the 12th century. That's extra. They know how to sell you stuff. So that's where I got a leather poof for $25. Huge. The same leather poof that's $475 in New York at a store whose name I won't mention. Okay. Do I have any more questions? So they don't accept US currency. I would say go to the ATM and get cash. Do not do it at the airport because it's expensive. And you can tell your bank ahead of time. I just go into the app for my credit union and I say, I'm going to be in Morocco these days, and they'll tell you the fee. It's going to be a lot cheaper than changing money and a lot less headache. Okay. We will stop during the tour every 2 days to go to an ATM. So I came with, I think, like $1,000 the first time, and I had all this cash to change, and it was really a pain in the ass. If I'd had it to do all over again, I would have taken out a couple $100s to have in my wallet, and then as soon as I landed and got out at the airport, I would have gone to a cash machine. There are cash machines everywhere. Marrakech, Casablanca, these are major cities, right? They're like New York or Chicago. They're a major city, guys. It's not like I'm not laying you down in the desert in Sudan and there's a camel and the camel will ride you to the one phone for 50 miles. It's not like that at all. There are ATM machines everywhere. Sometime during this week, I've just got to figure out a place where I could walk around and do this live broadcast live for you guys, because internet is tricky. You want to make sure that it's really fast enough. Like, my apartment is a private home that I'm renting on Airbnb. So one of the things I asked is that I need it work ready. So there's super fast internet here. And then I bought a phone here, a Galaxy, which is what I'm going to recommend you do when you come here. Is you don't have to buy a phone, but I wanted a separate phone because I'm going to be living here. So, but it was like $100. And then the SIM card for the month, you ready? You ready? It was like $30. My AT&T bill is like $130. My monthly bill here will be $30. $30. Okay. Morocco Telecom, it's great. Actually, my internet in this apartment is better than my internet in my apartment in Brooklyn. As long as I do, like yesterday, I totally screwed up and I was on 2 different screens at the same time. So one of the broadcasts came out great and the other one is kind of like sketchy. So I posted the one that's working and I'll delete the one that didn't come out right. But internet's not a big deal. You don't want to be on an American plan when you're here. So Rashid is great because all these questions get answered in orientation, and then he takes you to places where you can get what you need, right? So if he says, everybody says I need cash, we all take a trip to the cash machine together. Right? So the trip that starts will always be traveling by either our own private bus with just the company of us, right? And it won't be any more than 20 people. My golden number is 12. I really like that number. Rashid likes more numbers, but I really like the number 12. And there are 8 spots already gone. So what's that? I'm really not good at math. It's like 4 more spots. I mean, it's 4 more spots available. And then we can take 5 more people on the 9-day retreat. So we can't exceed 20 people in full. And the 2-day retreat in Essaouira, which is really exciting, we are going to be partnering with women who run their own co-ops in Morocco, which is the thing that I got super excited about. You know, when you hear that shit about women are oppressed and women have all these issues and they're veiled and da-da-da-da. No. That's all. I'm just going to say no. First of all, the government has decided, okay, we have these women who are the indigenous people, the Berbers. And in Morocco, the Berbers, the indigenous people, are actually still alive. We can't say that in the United States. Like, we actually tried to murder them all, our indigenous people here. In Morocco, they live up in the mountains. And the challenge for the new government was to encourage those people to come into the cities and take advantage of education and healthcare. And the challenge has been getting people who have been living the same way in mountains since the 12th century and, you know, traveling across the desert to trade goods and bring them here to get to Europe. They didn't want to change their way of life. So, and you'll learn a lot of this from Rashid, our tour guide. He's awesome. The government is now sending buses into remote towns to pick up kids for school, including girls. They don't do that in America. I was like, so whenever somebody tells you, like, some people are always trying to tell me Africa is this and nobody's going to like this and the Moroccans don't want to be black and I was like, you have to get there on the ground and see what's happening, because the government is trying, right? In a place with 50% unemployment, right? It's because Morocco is not trying to be, I'm gonna be a hater-rater, like the rest of Africa and be in debt to the World Bank. They're trying to do it themselves, right? And export their own goods and hand make their own goods the way they have been doing since the 12th century. When you go someplace here, this is a caftan. Somebody sewed this the afternoon that I bought it, okay? I went to the shop, there was a little wall, in the back was women sewing. Everything is made by hand here, unless it says made in China. And that's because it's JoJo selling it on the street corner or at the stoplight, not in a proper market, right? Everything is made here, right? Everything. You sit on a table, you sit on a chair, that was made by hand, slowly. And we'll visit those places during the tour. In Essaouira, which is famous for argan oil and silver Berber jewelry and woodwork, we will visit a woodworking shop. I posted a video, actually, of you know, the famous pearl embedded furniture that you see is from Morocco. I always thought, oh, okay, they take the pearl and they have a machine. None. That man crunches up tiny little pieces of pearl and embeds it in the wood by hand, one at a time. And we get to go to the shop and see him do that. And the woodwork is extraordinary. Like, it's just extraordinary. So there's lots of fun things that we do on the tour. What other questions do I have? The last payment has to be in by October 1st. So don't wait. We're talking about 5 or 6 spots left. Don't wait, because once we're full, we're full. We'd have to delay people until the next tour. And this, yeah. And the next tour will be a while, because this takes a lot of work to put together. We're not a travel company. I'm just a very enthusiastic actress who loves this country. So yesterday we talked about getting unstuck, and that if you want to create change, you have to take massive action, right? Massive change requires massive action, which is what Mike Dooley says. And I love that. I think that that's beautiful, because it means stepping out of your comfort zone, okay? It means doing something you've never done, okay? And while doing that thing that you've never done, you also let go of all the ways that you do it. For example, I was like, oh, I love Morocco. I could have gone to a luxury retreat at a riad and lived there like a tourist. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get out of the known world so that I could learn how to adapt. I could use that muscle to learn how to adapt to other people and be compassionate and accepting of other people and allow a new way of thinking to set in for me. Because America, everything's very fast, 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 cynical, 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 lots of money all the time. Time, and quality of life is important here. People slow down and they drink their coffee slowly. You know, I had to adapt to that. And what happened when I adapted to that, I paid attention to how kind people were. And what I learned is how hungry I was for kindness. I was starving for kindness, just simple, uncomplicated kindness. And here, I got that everywhere, all the time. Kindness, right? they didn't understand something, people would figure out even if it was in sign language, right? I remember being at a restaurant and we're gonna go to an oasis in the desert. And that is exactly what, I'm probably not pronouncing it properly, it's called Skura. And Skura is a Berber oasis in the desert. And the Berbers are the indigenous people. And it is desert, desert, desert. Oh, palm trees and fountains. Oh, a little pond with water. Oh, a restaurant. Oh, a museum in the middle of the desert. Like, it's kind of amazing. And you walk in, you're like, there's palm trees and the roof is made out of palm trees and you sit under this palm tree roof and you have lunch. And then you go into a traditional Berber museum, which is basically a Berber compound where people lived, or a kasbah, which is where several families are in a compound together. It's like a little tiny castle. And I hope I'm calling it right, Rashid, a kasbah. They have a kasbah that's been preserved in the way that it's been, the way that these people have lived since the 12th century. So we're gonna visit that kasbah and walk into a house, basically, and learn about all these amazing Berber people and learn about the huge Jewish community that's been there since the 12th century. The prime minister is actually Jewish, right? We haven't even done that in the United States, right? The king is Islamic, he's Muslim, and the prime minister is Jewish. And that's actually not a problem because they're like, he's a Moroccan. The end, right? So when we visited this kasbah, I was like, oh my God, that's totally amazing. And you see all these pictures of women and children at their various weddings and ceremonies. It's like going into a house and going back into time. You see how they grind corn. You see how people lived. Everything was encapsulated in that kasbah. So that's an exciting part of the tour. Yesterday, we talked about how we start the 17th day in Casablanca, and then we stop by in Rabat for the day to see, you know, a little bit of surfing, the castle that they used to defend off the Spanish and the Portuguese. It's still standing, and there's marketplaces there where people make their own handmade soaps and argan oils and caftans, which you can buy. So you like go downstairs from the castle and you're like, oh, it's a marketplace. And people are basically selling stuff in front of their house. It's really a cute little village. And then when you go inside the castle, you can walk around in the gardens in the park. And the gardens in the park, ready, are a cat sanctuary. They love cats here in Morocco. Because apparently Muhammad had a cat. And Muhammad was like, if God didn't want the cat to be here, he wouldn't be here. So we should honor him. Now, if you're a dog, this might be a tough place for you. People got dogs, but they don't love them like they love cats. Like you'll sit in restaurants and cats will stroll in to the restaurant and go straight back to the back door where they know they're gonna have lunch. They're clean and fat. Some places, Casablanca, it's a dirty city like New York. Some of the cats look sketchy, as do the people. But here you see people feeding cats everywhere. I had a bummer of a time last night because I saw a kitten that died and I was really upset. It looked like she had been sick. And that was really sad. That kind of knocked me down. But then when I walked around the corner, there were like 6 more cats who live in front of my building and who eat at the restaurant across the street. And then they eat in front of my building. They have a little section with bowls and water. And what they do is they cut a big water jug in half and make it into 2 bowls and they lay it out for cats. So they feed cats here. We don't even do that in New York. Like you feed cats. It's what's done. So in Rabat, in the castle, is a cat sanctuary. So they've turned the castle into a cat sanctuary. Cats chilling, waiting for lunch, waiting for snacks, waving at you and shit. It's actually so awesome. And it's so pretty. So I basically carried food with me everywhere. And I was a cat lady. Do not judge me. I'm sorry, cat woman. Cat ladies are old and crazy. Cat women are hot. Okay. So after we leave Rabat, we're just there for the day. Then you go to Chefchaouen, the blue city in the mountains. And it's really beautiful. And it's hilly and it's gorgeous. On the main page, Dream Unlocked, again, you can see a video there. And I'm going to leave all these links for you when I get off this call. And after we're in Chefchaouen, for 2 days. Then we move to the next part of our trip, and I want to say that I'm going to want to do this right and make sure I'm in the right place, which is Fez. Okay, so we're going to land in Fez, which is famous for its marketplaces, and it's famous for its souk. Again, the souk is the marketplace, and it's tons and tons of markets, and it's been there since when? The 12th century. It is a city that has been continuously inhabited since the 12th century. It's pretty amazing. And the king has a castle there that was built by hand. So we leave Chefchaouen after 2 days there, and then we go to Volubilis. And Volubilis are Roman ruins, and they're really well preserved. And I have a bunch of pictures posted of them. If you go into the photos in this group, you can see there's a whole album about the tour. Volubilis is gorgeous. And we walk that for the afternoon, and we have a guided tour. And he walks us through this room and that room. And this was Antony and Cleopatra, and the Romans did this, and the Romans did that. And these were their baths, and these were their homes. It's a beautiful set of ruins, right? And then we leave Volubilis in our bus, in our little minibus, and we go to Mekanez. There we go to see the king's castle. And it goes on for miles and miles and miles and miles. And it's a museum now. Right? It's the king at the time built it. I don't know what century, but it's completely preserved and it's stunning. And you walk inside the castle, you walk in through the granary, which is huge. And you're like, oh, this is a warehouse. No, it's not a warehouse. This is a huge room that's the size of a warehouse. And it was filled with grain. And they had like a wheel system to shoot the grain up through a hole in the roof where people would come and get their grain. It's amazing and it's huge. And it's filled with, guess what? Kitty cats, yay! And they feed them water. And it's a museum and we walk through there. And then we head to Fez and put down our clothes and our luggage in this old city. And Fez is really interesting because it has all this old stuff and then it has a modern part of the city. We'll be staying in, a midstream hotel. We're not going all the way American. We're not staying in Radisson's, right? But we're not always in. When we're in cities, we're staying in hotels that are more Western, just because they can do groups. They can handle the requirements of Western groups, which is that the vegetables and the water need to be handled a certain way because we don't have immunity to some of the stuff in the water here. So there are certain precautions that restaurants have to take when they're feeding Westerners. Now, and that's an important part of the trip. If Rashid tells you not to eat something, don't eat it, right? Doesn't matter if you see locals and the kids and they're slamming down on them sandwiches and pitas and tagines. If he says, don't eat it, don't eat it. It means that they use local water. And I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, the local water will fuck you up. I got sick because I was hard-headed. And she said, don't eat that fruit off the street. And the pineapple is so good, I had to have it. So I had it, and I was fucked up for 2 days. So I got Cipro, which is a good idea if you're traveling anywhere where you can't drink the water. Mexico, anywhere. Is call your doctor and ask them to call in a prescription of Cipro for you. Cipro is simple. It's a tummy settling antibiotic thing. You take it, you're fine. You're fine. And then you pack. Rashid has first aid and all that. But I packed a little mini first aid kit that I got on Amazon. And I had Tums and Pepto-Bismol and aspirin and Band-Aids and all that jazz. But I was hard-headed and I didn't pay attention to what he said about where to eat, right? So Rashid has chosen hotels and private homes. We're staying in a private home up in the mountain in the Atlas Mountains. He has chosen places very carefully to accommodate what Westerners need, which is vegetables need to be cleaned a certain way. Certain water needs to be boiled. Food needs to be cooked in water that's purified. If Rashid, at the beginning of our tour, we will buy tons of bottles of water to load into the bus to carry with us. So we'll have our own supply of water to refill our water bottles. And I think everybody kicks in like $10. And you just, so that you always have water on the bus and you always have water to take with you into your hotel room. Because you're not always going to lug that luggage out of the bus, not all the time. Sometimes you're just going to take your backpack out and leave the big suitcase in the bus because you're only going to be there for one night, right? Or store it downstairs in the hotel, and then we run off to another excursion. So are there any other questions? I'm just winging it and talking about all this exciting stuff. Fez is where we land, and that's day 4 or 5, somewhere in there. And Fez, again, oldest city, continuously inhabited since the 12th century. So you're gonna walk through a little town that's completely enclosed, like a little fortress of families living there. There's restaurants in it, there's homes, and those families have lived in that community, in that tiny, I guess, is that called a kasbah too? I think it's a kasbah. They're fortified little miniature castles, basically, where families lived to fend off invaders. So it was totally enclosed, the gardens are inside. The same families have been living in those homes since the 12th century. I kid you not. And you can see, you know, the guide, our guide was Hisham. I don't know if that'll be him again. That's for Rashid to sort. But you'll see how they've made modern adjustments to keep the structure stable. So you'll see metal beams that have been inserted to support wooden beams, but many of the doors are still the doors from the 12th century. And Morocco is famous for doors. It's astonishing. And in Fez, we have a guide when we go through the souk because it's like the biggest marketplace in the world. And it winds like a snake, and you will get lost, and you can get lost for hours. And you might not even know that you're lost because the shopping is so fucking good. I'm just like, in Fez, we visit a ceramic, traditional Moroccan ceramic factory. It's not like a factory. It's like a training school where you study with a master to become a master ceramics maker. And we visit there and we watch the process of them making the ceramics and then embedding it with either pearl or with the metal work. And you can buy a fountain, you know, these Moroccan fountains. Shipping's rarely more than $100 because of the deal that the King of Morocco sorted with DHL. So DHL is the one shipping provider. So shipping is really cheap. This ceramics factory is the real thing. You know, they're making pottery the way they've made it since when? The 12th century. And we'll visit several places in Fez where you'll see different kinds of pottery. There's pottery where they have hairpin, thin pieces of metal that look like sewing thread. It's metal and they embed it into the pottery. That's one different kind of pottery making. We go to another place that does that. Then we go to one that does pearl. So we're going to visit all of these different marketplaces and watch these people work by hand and then negotiate prices. And, you know, negotiating is the thing here. Because everything is handmade, there's no regulatory, the government doesn't regulate, oh, you have to charge people this. Why? Because the artist gets to decide what the price is. The artist might have spent, you know, 40 hours on this really special piece and was inspired. And it may be small to you, but it's inspiration for him. So if he decides that he wants to sell it for $400 US, and the guy next to him was like, I'll sell you mine for $100, that's up to him. You got to look at the artwork and the artist and see what it means to you, and then you negotiate from there. So negotiating is its own ballpark, but you're always dealing directly with the artist. You know, that's what's great about Fez. You're not like, there's no factory, right? You want to go buy that dress, you want to go buy those earrings, he's right there. If the artist is not there, it was made in China. That's all you need to know. Or ask Rashid. And then the other exciting thing that we do in Fez is we go to a leather factory. And the leather is like butter. I have a beautiful leather bag. I should show it to you guys. Let me show you the leather bag. Do I have any other questions? I see lots and lots of comments. I'm seeing if there's more questions. Okay, wait. Yes, the 9-day retreats are listed on the site. Yay! Don't say one day, make it today. No, Brett, don't do the international plan. It's so fucking expensive. You're gonna get a SIM card here. Ooh, look at all these places. Okay, great. So you're gonna get a SIM card here and we'll take you to that. Now, what I did just as a backup is that I got AT&T has a day-by-day plan that you could say, I want this for 5 days. Just so when I got here, I would have it so that I could get what I needed to get done or use navigation. So you could do that and then get a SIM card. I'm telling you, my bill is $1,300 for the first week here. You do not want to mess with the international plans. They are coming to get you. Not when you can get a little SIM card, pop open your phone and slide the SIM card in. And they'll do it for you at the phone place where you get the SIM card. Or you can buy SIM cards anywhere. When you get out in the airport, actually, as a matter of fact, in Marrakech, when you get out of the airport, Telecom Morocco, which is their major phone provider, you'll see these guys in orange vests, and they'll be walking around with these cards to give you, I'm going to show you. Wait, right there, don't move. So, Morocco Telecom, you'll see them. They will be there with these cards, and they're free to get you to buy into their plan. And they give you like the first month free. And there's a little SIM card in there. You pop the SIM card out, you pop up at the back of your phone, and you slip it in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. They will give this to you free. They're going to ask for a copy of your passport. There has been one terrorist event in Morocco. It was in 2011, where some American terrorists were killed in an explosion at a cafe. There has not been a single other terrorist problem in this country. It's amazing. We can't even do that in the United States. And Islam is the official religion here. But religious tolerance, it trumps everything. That's how they have a Jewish prime minister in an Islamic country. Religious tolerance. Religious tolerance. And the way that they do that is they're very strict about their rules. When you check into a hotel, you have to show your passport. You can't have strangers in your hotel room that are not checked into the hotel. If you do, they have to show their passports. If you get a telecom card, you have to show your passport. They are aware of who is in the country at all times. And it's how they keep you safe. There was no place that I ever felt unsafe in this country. And I was like, we can't even say that in the United States. One incident in the last 10 years? How many incidents? I'm in New York. While I was in Morocco last year, there were 3 deaths from terrorist activity. I was like, we can't even say that. Not here. They're seriously just not playing. Like, they are not playing. Okay, so day 1, you will meet Rashid in Casablanca. I will be in Chefchaouen. And I will be in and out of the tour because I actually need to get to Essa Weirda, where we're doing the retreat early to get the Moroccan women there and get you guys all set up. So I'll be jumping in and out. I guess I'm gonna be on a bus, Rashid to figure it out. And there is a hotel and it's on the itinerary. And we would book all of that for you ahead of time, right? We can even arrange a cab if you want, or you can hop, there's tons of cabs. It's just like JFK or any other American airport. You go outside, it's 20,000 cabs, like it's tons of cabs. And I think this is a question for Rashid, but you should never pay, I think, more than $30 for a cab, and you should get cash at the cash machine beforehand. And as I said yesterday, please pick up Lonely Planet Morocco so you know what's going on in this country. Please do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Okay. Bring a little bottle of vodka. It helps clean utensils. Utensils will be clean. We won't be eating someplace. We won't be eating any place that's not clean. You know, our guide, first of all, he trained in Istanbul in Belgium, and he has a degree in what he does. He's sort of like an anthropologist who really knows the history of this country, and he knows how to navigate things. And he knows how to choose hotels because it's very bad for business if tourists get sick. Everybody knows about that. Now, If you get sick because of something you ate in a hotel, that's bad for business. If you get sick because of something you ate on the street and people told you not to, like I did, then your tour guide's gonna be looking at you like, you're not stopping for your ass. I told you not to eat it off the street. And he has every right to be that way. He spent a lot of time choosing these restaurants so that we won't get sick. And this is really outside of the framework of how they live here. They have to go through several steps to prepare food for us, to make sure all the water is something that our tummies can tolerate. So you don't need to clean your utensils. I would have hand disinfectant and wipes with me everywhere, just because we're going to be in and out of vans. We're going to go into villages. We're going to go on little mini hikes. We're walking in the mountains. Sometimes we may go and eat at a little roadside cafe and have to go after a hike, you know, so you want to wash your hands. The economy, because of unemployment, of course, is there are all kinds of jobs that we as Westerners should support, because it's how people are surviving. And one of those is drivers, driving. And two, in the bathrooms are always maintained by a person, usually a woman. She gives you toilet tissue. The bathroom's cleaned for you. You go in, you clean. I was never in any like scary, nasty, like New York City restaurant bathrooms. All the bathrooms are clean. Many of them were brand new. In Morocco, even at Volubilis, the ruins, the bathroom is like extraordinarily clean. And you pay like a nickel, a dime to use the bathroom. And that's part of the economy, right? Most women make $10 a day. So there were people in our group who were like salty about, I gotta pay for the bathroom. I was like, because I have 50% unemployment. And that little woman needs to feed her children. And whatever she makes today, cleaning that bathroom for you, is how she's feeding her children. So you're gonna give them a quarter, okay? Just it's a quarter. And the bathrooms are sparkling clean. I wouldn't worry about vodka. We will make liquor stops for alcoholics like y'all. I have my whiskey here. We will make, in the big cities, we will make grocery store stops, and we will make liquor store stops. And I will tell you, liquor is not where you're going to get a deal. Wine, yes, local wine. But anything that's imported, you know, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, it's going to be American prices, just because they import that. And they don't sell enough of it to make it cheap, right? People who drink here, who live here, they drink local stuff. So, yeah. So the silverware is clean. The hotels, okay, great question. Brett doing vodka in India. Brett, you just carrying a bottle of vodka, talking about I'm gonna clean my utensils. So you clean your utensils, then you take a swig of the vodka. You just trying to have a reason to have extra vodka, Brett. But I'm gonna let you do that. You go ahead, okay? You go ahead. Okay. All right. So there's no place that we're really roughing it. Even when you camp in the desert, it's not like camping in America, because anybody who knows me knows that I'm a diva. I don't camp. I was like, live in nature without electricity. Why would I do that? I was like, my ancestors had to do that as slaves. That's actually not an adventure for me. So the desert camping is your guide, and the guides are hot. Okay, I'm just being vapid. The guides are gorgeous in their beautiful blue robes. They come and meet you at the hotel where we leave our luggage. And then they bring the camel, and they load you on the camel, and they load your overnight bag on the camel. And then they take you on a little 45-minute walk on your camel to the campsite in the Sahara. And you sit out there and chill and watch the sunset and talk shit. And we stay in Bedouin tents. Bedouin tents are like little houses. They're like beach houses in the desert. They're huge. They have beds in them, Moroccan couches like you see in my apartment that are covered. You might want to bring a sleeping bag if you're not into laying on other blankets and stuff like that. That it totally got. I actually slept in my sleeping bag with the blanket on top of me because it got cold at night. And then my sleeping bag was really useful because then when I wanted to go lay out in the desert sand, I laid on my sleeping bag, which was great. And by the campfire, I laid on my sleeping bag, and they play drums for us at night, and it's amazing. And there's a beautiful dining table. Some of you have seen the picture of breakfast. Breakfast is laid out. It's like a proper table. They have electricity. You have Wi-Fi on the campsite. Like, it's not, you know, these are how people lived who traveled across the Sahara to bring silk and spices and gold and silver to Europe. They've been living like this forever. And a few of the guys that are there live as hermits and Bedouins in the desert. That's where they live. Brett talk about a tiny spray bottle. So you spray the silverware a little bit, Brett, like this. You're like, ooh, this fork ain't clean. Spray, spray, spray. Okay. I love that. That's the first sign of being an old Black lady from the South. I travel with my spray bottle of vodka, and then I got my hot sauce here in my purse. That's amazing. If you want, if you want to bring your spray bottle, Brett, bring your spray bottle and bring like your empty water bottle that you carry, your metal water bottle with you, and you can just have at it and make sure you get yourself some vodka. My roommate, I'm not trying to talk about people, but she had vodka everywhere. We were always hooked up. Vodka and Orangina. And in the big cities, the hotels usually have bars, or there's one right next door. If you want to do that thing. Okay. What other questions? So day one, you'll meet in Casablanca. We'll arrange transportation. You'll be to your hotel. I would check in the night before. That's what I did. And get yourself together. Pack light. If you're not flying direct, there's a good chance that your luggage can be delayed. Sucks. That's why, as much as possible, I would try to fly on Moroccan Airlines, because what they do is all direct flights come into Casablanca. But if you are getting a flight to anywhere, for example, Casablanca, Tangier, whatever, if your final destination is Marrakech, when you get to the airport, they fly your luggage to your final destination. It's not on the plane with you making connections, right? So Royal Emirates, they didn't lose my luggage. It was the most effortless flight. The whole transportation, I got to the airport, I was there early. They checked me in, there was no problems. I didn't get delayed. It went fast. I got to the airport. They were burning incense in the hallway as I boarded. The flight was practically empty. They stretched out blankets for me and let me lay across it. And then they brought Moroccan food. Like, it was so easy. Nothing was late. Nothing was rushed. People spoke in 3 different languages. Like, it was so effortless. I cannot say. It was like a really good sign. I'm supposed to be here. It was the most stress-free flight ever. I highly recommend it. Now, let's talk about Wi-Fi in the hotel. I'm gonna tell you, in general, the Wi-Fi is really, really great in the lobby, in the dining room. There's a dining room because breakfast is always served as part of the trip. I lost my train of thought. So Wi-Fi is going to be great in the lobby. There's always a lounge where we met every night after dinner and hung out in the lounge and drank wine. The Wi-Fi is always good there, and the Wi-Fi is good in the eating room, and the Wi-Fi, there's a little bar, the Wi-Fi is good there. The Wi-Fi in the rooms, sluggish, just so you know. But every hotel is going to have basic Wi-Fi. And you're going to have a SIM card. So you'll just be using the general Wi-Fi. So we'll always have Wi-Fi. Hello. Unless we're in someplace remote. And the Atlas Mountains, I had Wi-Fi in the Atlas Mountains, but that's just me. So yeah, and like the desert, the guys that are leading your camel, that's like their own independent business. They're like leading the camel in their robes, and then they're on their iPhone Instagramming. I was like, wait, we're doing like this 12th century camel ride into the desert and you're on your iPhone? It was like, he's like, yes, we have to take pictures of you on the camel. And he's Instagramming. And I was like, this is magnificent. This country has lots of things like that, where the very, very old is like living with the new, right? I was sitting at a table last night eating, and a woman came in. And when I say veiled, I mean veiled, like a little black screen across her eyes, gloves on her hand, her feet covered, then in sandals. She had socks on. Her daughter and her friends were in jeans and tank tops. I was like, what? it exists, you know, it exists. You go to the nightclub, or there's a blue hotel. It's like an extension of, I want to say the Radisson or whatever, but it's the Moroccan version, and they have a bar for happy hour, and there's girls in hijabs in there drinking cocktails and dancing to hip hop, like, and totally modestly dressed, not veiled, but like in a long tunic, their body's covered and their faces are beat within an inch of their lives, and they got jewelry draping down, but they got the hijab, which is either matching the sunglasses or the top or the scarf or the belt. Like, it's an outfit, and then she's doing hip hop and drinking. It's the old and the new, right? And this is a very what Rashid calls Muslim light. It's a very tolerant country. Women dress as they want. You know, it's your choice. It's what you've chosen. Let me see if I'm getting all of these questions. Brett still talking about vodka. Brett, I think you have a drinking problem. Anyway, you can come and stay with me then if you have a drinking problem. I drink every night. There. Okay. Where's the best place to get? Okay, I've answered that. No international plans. Too damn responsive. I'm looking for a photographer. I would really like somebody to document like the trip, because I can't be in every single city, and Rashid and our driver are going to be really, really busy taking care of you. So I would love somebody to take, you know, professional pictures and like do little mini videos of the sites. And Rashid guides you. So he'll be like, you'll really want to see this. Everybody bring your cameras to take shots. You'll really want to see this. He'll do stops for certain landscapes and views. So I would really like someone to take lots of pictures, and we'd give them a little discount on the tour if they wanted to do that. In the cities where I'm not. So, or like when I'm teaching the retreat in Essaouira, or when I'm on my horse riding on the beach in Agadir, somebody needs to photograph that for me. Okay, I strongly suggest you make that plan too. Riding a horse on the beach in your caftan, okay, dreadlocks blowing in the wind, and your silver bangles. I have no fucking sense, but I'm just saying, it's a very fabulous way to be photographed. Anyway, so you're the one that's going on this trip with this crazy woman. Any other questions? I've been out here a long time. Tell me what you think of the beautiful pictures on the website. They're gorgeous. Okay, I'm looking for more questions. Hi, Angela. I think I have no more questions. Am I allowed to go now? Okay, so here's the great news. I'm here for the next, so this was 14 days. This is the second day. That's 12. I'm here every day, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock if you're here with me in Marrakech. Every day, talking about the retreat and introducing a new day or what's going to go on or some little tidbit or some little amazing adventure. I'm going shopping for caftans now because I only bought a few clothes here, and I strongly advise you to just bring some jeans, one pair of jeans, modest shorts, very modest, like to the knee, okay, and something to cover your booty. And that's true all over Africa. You want your booty covered because the booty is life. Okay? Breasts are for children, the booty is life. So just cover your booty so you don't make anybody crazy, okay? And no cleavage, okay, no backs out. Put on a tank top or a t-shirt. All right, so I see there's more questions. When is the latest one can reserve? Well, all the money got to be in October 1st. Okay, that sounds like a lot of time, but if you only got 5 spaces left, that's not a lot of time. Great, okay? And here's the other thing. You don't want to wait until October 1st. There's stuff you got to do before you come to Morocco. You got to book your flight, right? You gotta get shots, and on the page, if you go again to the itinerary, this is why I was yelling at everybody last week. I was like, it's very important that you read the itinerary so you know what you're signing on for, instead of asking me all these questions, because sometimes there's things in the itinerary that you would not have thought of that will trigger a question that you can ask me and I can help you solve it. But if you don't know what to ask because you haven't read the itinerary, you're gonna be up shit's creek. Like, you do need vaccinations. And I try to put it all on that page for you because there wasn't anything like that for me. When I came, they just gave me some basic trip notes, and then I had to Google everything else I needed to know. Do I need a visa? No, you don't need a visa. I had to Google that. That information is on the trip note, in the trip notes on the itinerary page. You need vaccinations, right? Only your doctor will know which one of your vaccinations are up to date, right? I had to get Hep A and Hep B. I had to get typhus. You know, the State Department said rabies. My doctor was like, no, are you going to go someplace where there are rabid dogs? You're going to be in cities and villages that are inhabited. Yes. I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, you're fine. I was like, you know, so that's, I think, typhoid, hep. You don't need malaria. It's something, it's on the page. You should go and look at that because you need to get them. And a lot of them, your doctor can just call in a prescription. You can go to Duane Reade and get the shot. But you need to call your doctor. Or you can go to these travel places, you know, they have them all over the world where just all they do are travel vaccinations, but they don't have your records. And I think they're pricier. Like my insurance paid for my insurance this year, not my American insurance did. My global insurance paid for my vaccinations. And it's included in my package. I didn't have to come up with money. If I had gone to one of those vaccination centers, those medical outpatient centers, yeah, they would have charged me per shot. And I just got my typhus and some other one right at Duane Reade. Like when they put the prescription, they took it out, they shot me, and I was like, oh yeah, right? When is the last? So that's October 1st. I think at the current time, there is a payment plan available, but you got to take advantage of it. The 17 days, $19.99, and the 9-day is $13.50. And if you do the 9-day, you know, for the retreat itself, well, for the retreat itself for everyone, all the meals are covered, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm trying to figure out excursions now because I want us to go to Hammam, which is a traditional spa. And in most places, Morocco, like there are Turkish baths separated by gender. People go to the public baths, right? Every night. We pick up their kids from school, fathers and sons going to the guys' part, women going to. And I'm going to go to one of the public ones. I was told not to because it's like, you're American, you won't be used to it. But I said, I want to be with the people. So I'm going to check out one of the public ones. And then there's one that's mid-scale that is private, that's close to my house, which Mythic Oriental, which you are welcome to join me when you're in Marrakech, the last few days of the retreat when you go there. But there are hammams in every city. It's part of the tradition. And it's extraordinary. You go into a steamy room and people bathe you with argan, black soap. And we're going to a place where they make black soap. So you can buy stuff. One of the cooperatives that's participating in the retreat with us, Marjan, their soap is extraordinary. And you're bathed by an attendant with these scrub brushes. And then you're rinsed off with buckets of water. And then if you want the mud, I always do the mud. They cover you in rasul clay, the red clay from the desert. And your body gets this all released and detoxified. It's really a ritual because you're allowing somebody to lay hands on you and take care of you and clean you, you know, like washing Jesus's feet. Like the act of another human being cleaning you is sort of sacred, right? And they wash your hair, and then they take you into another room to cool you down, and you lay down on a tile there, and it's all warm. And they take you into another room to lay down and drink some mint tea, and they wrap you in these luxurious towels. And then it depends on what you ordered next. That's just a spa ritual, hammam ritual. After that, I always get a massage and a pedicure. And I got the massage after the ritual. Then you get argan oil and you pick your scent. And I got patchouli and vanilla, I think. And then I had a patchouli massage for an hour and a half. And then afterwards, they bring you out for traditional tea service, Moroccan mint tea, and cookies, shortbread cookies with chocolate on top. They're gorgeous. Or handmade little pastries, Moroccan pastries. So they're like fruit and breaded cookie. And they're unusual, but they're lovely. So you're sitting there in the spa, sipping on tea, somebody doing your feet. The women are lovely. People are peaceful and quiet, and it's beautiful. If you look through the pictures, you can see some of the pictures of, and you also have the option of doing a salt bath, which is go sit in a hot bath. And then some hammams have jacuzzis. I'm telling you. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now. You with me? I had hammam. That was the argan bath, the clay mask, the rinse, the wash and condition the hair, the argan oil, wrap, and the massage. You with me? Okay. Then I came out and had a pedicure the day before, because you can't do hair removal and hammam at the same time. The day before, I had had a wax. Okay. The whole thing, $140. Okay, that's like 6 hours. It was $140. So I'm gonna tell you on the real, I moved to Morocco to get hammam. Every other week. I swear, it's 6 hours in the spot. It's $140 US. And then when I tried to tip her, she was like, no. I was like, what? I was like, and you have the same person through the whole process. So hammam. Now I have to get off the phone because I think I have a meeting with my marketing director for the DreamMorocco. Yeah, so I'll see her on Zoom. Roz, I'll see you on Zoom. Anybody else got questions? I'm finna go. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Hello.